Here we go, guys.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready? Whoa! Whoa! Too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love. Let's go to the lead. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, hey.
Wow. Yeah. Too sexy. Wow. If that is not a powerful song to start this show off, man, I don't know what in the world is. Welcome everybody back to our Paramotor Nation. I've got my friends with me, and here they are. You got John Ripa, and you got Dave Ruff. What's up, boys?
Hello, everybody.
What up? What up?
Oh my God. The gang's all here. We've already got 27 people in the chat. Oh my gosh, so good to see everybody again. It's been a minute, but we've had some productive time in the last couple weeks since the last show. Johnny's been on my back about doing a show once a month. We're gonna try.
I miss
to.
everybody. I miss
know.
everybody. What can I say?
I know. We have fun. We have fun. So this is going to be an interesting show, but I really think this is going to be an amazing show too. I'm going to kind of give everybody the order of business here. First thing, we're going to start off this show just talking about things that are going on. Some of them are some good things. Some of them are not so good things. But we got some announcements about a lot of people in the paramotoring community, and we want to talk about them. We got a whole new segment. We're going to introduce a little clairvoyancy to the show. Everybody should remember one of these guys, the Magic 8 Ball. That's right. We're going to give Dave and John each a chance to ask a question of the Magic 8 Ball. The Magic 8 Ball, Dave, it doesn't lie. It just never lies. It's always correct.
No, we were playing with it last week, and I mean, I learned some stuff about us that I never figured.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the cool thing, guys. We're going to give everybody in the chat, so far 39 people watching in the chat, we're going to give 39 people, and whoever else that joins in, thanks so much. Slow Days says, is that Dave Wolf or is that Santa Claus? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's been growing out a little bit. Thanks.
Got to see it in person,
There
man.
you go. So Dave Rupp is going to be watching the chat. If you have a question that you want to ask of the Magic 8 Ball, go ahead and ask it in the chat, but Dave's going to choose one question. So Dave, you better write it down so you don't forget it, okay?
Listen, I've got a term and condition to this, David.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, this is aimed at the chat, that everybody in the chat, that once their question even considered, first has to hit that thumbs up. Now,
Oh,
I've got
I
this
don't
thing
care
that
about
actually
that.
tells me now who does thumbs up.
Oh, you do?
So if you've given a thumbs up and you ask a question, you're in the running.
All right. Well, listen. Whoever's name that you choose, they're going to win. I got an extra hook knife I found here in the old bag
Nice.
of...
That looks like a letter opener.
It does look... No, it's not. This was made by Paranormal PPG out on the
Okay.
other side of the
All
pond.
right.
So, no, it's not a letter opener.
Hey, stick your finger in it, see if
I
it works.
actually fly with one exactly like this. So, love it.
Tell you what, it could save your life.
Never had to use it, never plan to, but it's there if I need to. All right. So, and then after we go through a lot of this stuff, we do have the topic of the night, which is getting old and flying cold. I'll let you guys figure out which ones you are, between Dave and John.
Getting
and then
old.
We're gonna end the show with a little
Too
toast.
cold.
So, if you got a little, I got a little bottle of champagne here. We're gonna toast away the year and welcome in a new year because we're not gonna be doing a show again. I think we might try to do a show in January on location. Now, one other little thing here. John and I have a side bet going. My MacBook is showing me that there's 8% left on it for battery power. But I'm plugged in. I'm not so I'm a little concerned about this because I think like the computer's going to die. So if the show automatically goes off the air and no one has a reason why, we know I was right and Dave was wrong, but or sorry, John was wrong. But John's saying to me, no, that's just your battery. It'll still stay on. So hopefully it does. All right. I want to get into a couple things. First of all, so everybody notices right at the bottom of your screen, and this on every screen, there's no sponsors up, but you know we're appreciative of all the sponsors that we have had on the show. You can still find them up here. There's the website ourparamotornation.com, so you can go there, see all the people that were gracious enough to sponsor the show. It's still friends of ours. But right here at the bottom, you can see there's 3 QR codes, and you may be wondering, what the heck is a QR code? Well, if your name is Tim Gaskins and you have no idea how to work a computer or a smartphone, you have 2 choices. Listen to what I say now or go ask your wife, Sue. So, all you got to do, if you've never used a QR code, you can take your little phone, you can pull up your camera app, there's my camera app, and you point it at one of those QR codes, and if it works, I don't know if it's going to work on my screen right now. Oh, there it is, and it brought up the middle one is the one I zoomed in on, and look at that. It's bringing up Resurgence PPG, okay? So there's 3 different QR codes. Now this is me doing a little preaching here. It is that time of the year. It's the season of giving. It's the season of stepping out and of your comfort zone, doing something nice for other. Hopefully you do that year round. But as I said in a video I put out on Facebook earlier today, I wanted to give everybody 3 opportunities to help 3 different groups of people. Horrible accident happened this week. Oh, by the way, please do not make any super chat donations. That's something that people have done in the past of the show. Really appreciate it. I'd rather you take those super chat donations that you were going to otherwise make to the show, if you were, and put it to one of these 3 groups at the bottom, okay? I'm going to start on I guess it's on the right side of your screen, and that is, it says Kentucky in there, okay? And as many people know, horrible tornado tore through the state of Kentucky, over 200 miles, over 100 fatalities. And, you know, I always think, you know, if something ever happened in my area, would someone be willing to donate money or do anything for me and my family in our time of needs? So I decided today, this beautiful cargo trailer that I just redid, what I'm going to do with that cargo trailer, I was excited because I'm going to be making a trip down to Florida here in the month of January, and it just did a beautiful job. I'm so proud of it and really excited. But what I decided to do is take my cargo trailer, my new pickup truck. Tomorrow, my wife and I are going to go over to our church. We're going to fill up both with non-perishable items, and then Tuesday morning at 6 a.m., I'm going to be heading to Mayfield, Kentucky, which was probably the worst hit area, just absolutely devastated area, and I'm going to be taking all these perishable items that were donated along with some other people from our church, and I'm going to be spending about a day and a half down there with tools and helping whatever I can to help these folks out. You know, it's something I'm sure many people wish they could do but don't have the opportunity to do. I remember back when a couple years ago when the state of Florida was hit real bad, you know, I wish I could have helped out, but it was just too far. So if you can't do that, maybe you can make a donation, and that QR code will help you with that. This one here in the middle, right there, Resurgence PPG. You know, this has been a foundation of our show, helping Resurgence PPG out. I want you to consider making a donation to Resurgence PPG. You know, this is one of the greatest times of the year. I love the Christmas holiday. I love being with my family and just being together and sharing good times. And it's a very bright time of the year. But for a lot of people right now, it's a dark time. Think about the people in Kentucky. And, you know, when you think about Resurgence PPG, it seems like, oh, it's all happy. We're giving vets an opportunity to go out there and fly. And that's true. But there's some vets out there that just want to fly and they can't afford to fly. And by donating money to Resurgence PPG, you give someone real hope to be able to fly, to be able to forget their worries on the ground and go up there and share this incredible experience that all of us get to do. So please consider donating money. You know, this is something you can do year-round. It's not like the Kentucky thing, which hopefully will only last for a short amount of time. This is something you can do year-round, but consider doing that. That's, you know, Resurgence PPG has also always been very, very near and dear to my heart since I started flying almost 4 years ago now. Third thing, this one right here. Okay. Um, Gentleman by the name of Chris, and I hope I pronounced Chris's name correctly, Lipier. Lipier. Pilot was down at the compound in Florida, and I don't know all the details, so I don't want to assume anything or give anybody some any false information. I know I traded text messages with Shane Robbins. Many people know Shane Robbins as Never Trust the Skinny Chef Shane. He was there. He saw the accident happen. It's devastating to him, and God bless his wife Krista, who was there trying to take care of Chris at the moment that this happened. Chris leaves behind a beautiful wife and a beautiful son, young man, very unfortunate. So, his accident, all these accidents that we have, whether an accident or a fatality, it affects everybody. It affects all of us. It affects his family, of course. It affects my family because I share this information with my wife and my kids, and they get scared every time I go out and fly that this is something that could happen to him. So I know we wanted to talk about, and we will here in a second, John. I know you and I had talked about this, and Dave, and about just managing risk, as something we've talked about a lot on the show. Please consider helping him out. Oh my gosh, I feel so horrible for his wife, his son. Their Christmas, not only this year but every year, it'll never be the same because
His buddies he was down there with. I mean, it's just a horrible thing.
yeah. And speaking with Shane, it's something I'm sure he's going to have a very hard time talking about seeing this. I mean, seeing someone's fatality happen right in front of your eyes, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's one of the reasons too that I just love those brothers in arms, those veterans that we get to help from Resurgence, because God knows they have seen things that we never want to see. So, folks, those are the QR codes. You can do it while you're watching the show. If you're not watching the show live, you can go ahead and do it after the show, but please consider helping someone else out. It's, however you want to do it, make it known, make it not known. I will say this, I've already made a donation today to Chris's family through that same QR code. Thank you, Shane Robbins, for bringing that to our attention, that this GoFundMe does exist. Resurgence, PPG, I've always been a supporter of, as has Dave and John in so many ways. And then, of course, helping for Kentucky. That's something that we can all take part into. You don't have to be on the ground doing that. All right, guys, any thoughts before we get started? We have a lot of announcements here.
That was some announcement.
Yeah.
All those announcements.
Yep. If you're just joining the show late, if you got a question for the Magic 8 Ball, you want to know something, you got a chance. If your question is chosen by Mr. Dave Ruff, you can win this hook knife right here tonight. So a couple things.
Guys, if you're going to put, real quick, if you're going to put questions in there, please put my name in there so it lights me up so I can actually see it.
There you
please.
go. Good idea.
Thank
Very
you.
good idea. I want to start off by wishing a very, very happy birthday to a very, very, very old lady. She's also a bad apple sister of mine. That is Fireball Leah Catullo. She turns 89 years old today. So happy birthday to Leah. She's still out there
She's
flying.
rocking it.
She's doing well. She's very, very old. So happy birthday to Leah Catullo. I saw a gentleman in the chat earlier tonight. Oh, I want to mention something else before I do, because I just saw Hot Buttered Steve's name pop up, and I really want to say thank you to Hot Buttered Steve. I saw he was on Facebook. He started a show right after we had said we're gonna slow it down for us here, and he was kind enough to make sure that that his show was over, and even said we're going to be done before OPN, so you can be turned into OPN. And I actually clicked on and watched a little bit of the show, and it even said on there, OPN is up next, 8 o'clock Central Time. So, Steve, thank you so much, man. That was really, really kind of you. Harley Milne. Harley Milne has a trailer video that was produced by Greg Anthony Harris. It's the same trailer that's on both of their YouTube channels. I did put a link to that trailer on the Our Paramotor Nation Facebook page. If you haven't watched it, please watch it, like it, share it. There's so much going on right here. John, you got to see the epic finish line when Harley...
Dave, what an accomplishment. I just don't think that, everybody knows what he did from flying from one coast to the other, from San Diego to Florida in 9 days. I mean, I can't even imagine that. Like, I sit in the seat for an hour and I'm ready to get out.
There's a lot of people that do some amazing things in our Paramotor Nation. I love saying it like that. But what Harley did, I really believe is the most greatest accomplishment anybody has ever done. And I don't think he gets near enough credit for what he
It's,
did.
it's nuts. Him and remember Bo Fanning flying from Florida to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That was another unbelievable feat.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true. That's true. But so here's the thing. They're trying to get this thing not just on YouTube. They're trying to get this thing on Netflix, and it really will help out their cause if everybody watches it, shares it, subscribes to it. Please think about doing that. For what Harley did, absolutely amazing. A couple other people I've been talking to in the last couple weeks. Everybody remembers our friend Larry DeChico, Para Orange. He's doing great. He is very busy. You know, you don't hear so much about Para Orange anymore, but they're like out of stock and getting more stock in. Don't stop your orders to them. They've got great products out there. I think he said that right now. I mean, John, you've seen so many people flying trikes recently. The places you've been flying, trikes are really getting hotter and hotter.
I tell you what, I can't believe it. The trikes are everywhere.
Yeah, so their trike covers.
I just want to say, out of this whole group, I was the first one to fly trikes. I made trikes cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
He did. And the trike covers are actually sold out right now, but keep going with the orders because they'll get more in and they'll keep making more. Anthony Vella, Paramotor Podcast. It's been a while, but he has 5 new episodes ready to roll out. Take a look at the Paramotor Podcast. That should be great. Got a message.
Boy, Dave, you're just full of announcements. I mean, rapid fire.
I'm trying to help everybody out. If you guys want me to stop and slow down, we can talk about this.
Well, let me ask you a question. Were we going to see Larry DeChico next week?
Where are you going to see Larry DeChico next week?
Isn't there something big happening next week in Florida?
We're going to get to that in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, let me
just
get to.
checking.
I have a list here. Let me stay with the list, okay? So, yeah, why don't you go ahead, John? I need a break. Go ahead. John.
So next Saturday, December 18th, is the Sky Pirates Christmas party, hosted in Wauchula, where Rick Davies flies out of. And, I believe if it's a nice day, we're going to get a lot of people. After we fly in the morning, they're going to do a little barbecue at the hangar, and it should be one heck of a get-together.
Very nice. Very, very cool. That should be fun. But John, isn't there another flying coming up in January too that you wanted to talk about?
So yeah, we have a fly-in the Lake Okeechobee area on somebody's farm. It's going to be the weekend of January 22nd with a rain date the following weekend. And they're going to announce it on Facebook, and all's going to be welcome. It'll be dry camping. There is a shower and bathroom in a hangar there on site. But it's going to be a big one because we believe that people are going to come down from the north to get out of the cold, and everyone's welcome. So, yeah, they'll be announcing it on Facebook soon.
Terrific. Awesome. You mentioned Wauchula. Travis Burns, One Up Adventure. He had sent me a message. They only have 2 spots left for their January class. So if you are interested in being a part of the class, look up One Up Adventures. Great training. I've witnessed it. They're doing an amazing job, and it's going to be a heck of a time. I mentioned Resurgence PPG. I got word today that Resurgence PPG has another candidate that's going to be in that January class as well. So I see Resurgence PPG is in the chat right now. I think we might see Resurgence PPG at that as well. Another sponsor of the show was Wicked Wings logo, Craig Taylor. I know Craig is going to be making his way down to Florida. He's getting his multi-engine rating or license.
Wow.
What do you call it? One of the two. But I want to ask everybody, as long as you're praying for the people in Kentucky, praying for Chris, if you are a prayer warrior, I need a prayer for my son, Brennan. Brennan is, he's been working on his private pilot's license. He has been working his rear end off these last couple weeks, just finished up his final exams on his first aviation college semester, and now next week he's looking at taking his private pilot's written test. So keep him in your prayers. Hopefully he's going to be passing that. How about the new president? Congratulations, Noah Rashada. He is the new president of the USPPA. Interested in hearing from him a little bit more. And I know, John, you had some thoughts about, can USPPA help us with some insurance down the road and some other questions that we'd like to know. Training with him this past week. Another sponsor of the show, Carolina's PPG, a bunch of the guys, including Darren Locklear. And actually, I'm going to see Darren in a couple weeks here I'm going to be heading down to Raleigh over to Duke University for a little function. So planning on that. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to fly, but we're going to have some lunch together. Getting close to the
Dave.
end here. Yeah, Dave.
You need to breathe, so just 1 second.
I know.
Okay?
I'm
you know what I was going to say? Why don't you take a drink, David?
Yeah, take a drink. So, hey, guys, just want to let you know that Resurgence PPG has their next sponsored candidate coming up. His name is Brandon Vitt, and he is a single leg amputee, and it's going to be awesome. So, hey, I'm telling you, I don't know if you can see it, but Resurgence PPG, they do a great job. Make sure you guys are sending some thoughts their way.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Charlie Soap. I want to send a condolence out to Charlie Soap, James Sutherland.
That's right.
Charlie, his dad, passed away in the last, I think it was about 2 weeks ago. So, James, love you, brother. And our deepest condolences to you and your family. Paris Swag has their new props. They're coming out here pretty soon. Mark George, keep an eye on that if you're interested in that. Actually, I will be getting, and John, you have one, the Prop Hub. I should be getting mine tomorrow. John, you like yours?
They're awesome. I mean, I don't use it anymore because I have the Nirvana has their own prop hub assembly. But Jeff, my other two wingmen, they all have them. They absolutely love them. Right. I mean, the prop comes off in 2 seconds. They put their motors in their trucks, and they don't have to worry about the weather or anyone stealing them.
So I'm looking forward to getting mine. John, do you have a burning question for the Magic 8 Ball that you want to know? Okay, John, you didn't prepare for this part of the show. Dave, do you have a Magic 8 Ball question?
I didn't even hear you. You went blank.
Can you hear me?
I've been watching the questions, so I haven't even thought of one yet.
Okay.
I'm going to ask a question, David. Ready?
Right, yes, I have the Magic 8 Ball. Anything in the world. Go ahead.
Will John Ripman Riding, be using a trike in the future?
Wow. Great question. Magic 8 Ball. Will John Ripman Riding be using a trike in the near future? You guys are going to have to take my word for it. Oh, my gosh. I feel like I need my readers. Hold on. Gotta get the readers on. It says...
Getting old.
It says, reply hazy. Try again. I'm going to ask one more time. Will John Ripman Riding, the love child of Ray Romano and Dee Snider, will he be using a trike in the near future? All right. It says... Cannot predict now. You're going to be... It doesn't know. It doesn't know. That's
ain't happening.
Very interesting.
Just so everybody in the chat knows, it's not happening.
All right.
I will drag my dead leg and run in the air with one leg. So
there you go. I've hit all of my announcements so far. Don't forget, if you're tuning in late, there's 3 QR codes at the bottom of your screen. Think about making a donation. You can look up some information on all of them later after the show as well. So there you go.
I got a question.
Yeah. You have a question? Is it for the Magic 8 Ball or just one in general?
It's for the Magic 8 Ball.
All right, this is your question. You each got one question. So Dave is going to use his Magic 8 Ball question now, and then we're going to talk about getting old and flying cold. Go ahead, Dave.
In 2022, will John Ripa and David Wolf and David Ruff meet again in Florida for some epic adventure?
Oh.
Wow.
Will David Ruff, David Wolf, and John Ripa meet in Florida, you said, or just meet in general?
In Florida.
In Florida for an epic adventure. And it says, yes. Straightforward, yes. There you go. Wow.
There's the teaser, guys.
Very good. All right. So you're going to have to ask questions of Dave Ruff if you'd like to win that. John, flying old. Getting old. Getting old, John. You're getting old, buddy.
I tell you, I'm starting to realize my limitations. I've got to pick and choose my, my launches. These no-win launches with a full tank of gas in my bad leg. I just got to go with a bigger glider, and just realize that I'm going to fly a little slower and enjoy the sights instead of ripping around like a madman. So I can accept that, and as I get older, I realize I'm going to have limitations.
Now, you once said to me, you will never fly a trike. You said that. Now, you did fly my trike at Bad Apples. Oh, by the way, that was another announcement we forgot. Bad Apples, get ready for it. May 12th through May 15th. Mark it on your calendar. Last year, 325 pilots. Will you be one of them this year? And will we break the nation's record of 325 pilots from last year? So there you go. So, did you enjoy flying the trike or not so much? Well, you did fly when you flew
I mean,
you
it
flew
was
it.
okay. I
You
mean, there's
flew it.
nothing wrong with it.
You
But the running into the air is the whole thing for me.
Oh my
Can't
gosh.
hear you. We
What's it?
couldn't hear you, Dave.
Okay.
Dave.
DP made a $10 donation. So DP, thank you very much for that $10 donation, buddy. There it is on the screen. It says, "Love you all. Happy holidays." Appreciate that, buddy. I'm gonna take that $10 and I'm gonna make a donation. I know my wife is gonna go. She's already bought a couple non-perishable items, so we're gonna take that $10 that Dave just donated to the show, and we're gonna buy $10 more worth of non-perishable items, and I'm gonna take that down to Kentucky here on Tuesday. So again, if you wanted to make a super chat donation, thank you so much, but please, instead of doing that, consider doing it to one of those 3 QR codes at the bottom. John, are you finding as you're getting into your older age, those
My golden years.
Yes, your golden years, John. Are you finding that it's more difficult when you were a younger man learning to fly 5 years ago?
What am I finding more difficult?
Just to running, the running
Oh,
part.
oh. Yeah, just, it's a lot of weight on an old man's back running down a field with potholes and everything else. The legs just, they don't hold you up. They've got so much in them and then they just buckle under the pressure.
John, I think everybody either lost count or can't count that high, but how many broken props have you had?
Oh, you know what? There's no room on the wall anymore. I don't know what to say. I'll get an updated picture soon.
I'd really love for you to put an updated. I think everybody would love to see an updated picture.
I'll tell
of your
you what,
garage
though.
wall.
No matter how many I broke, my buddy James Sutherland has me beat.
Really?
So,
All right. So
yeah,
Dave,
I'm just a rookie compared to him.
now Dave has been flying trike. He flew trike. He went to foot launching. Really spent a lot of time, and those trikes were collecting a lot of dust. And then he went back to trike. But I got him out the other night. We flew in the cold, and we'll talk about that here in a few moments. But I got to tell you, I watched Dave's face. I really wish my camera was working correctly.
A lot of anxiety.
But he was. And when he took off, there was a moment where he was holding his A's and he went, and you could see it in his face and you could see the way his head tilted. He kind of went, well, here we go. Here goes nothing. And he did perfect. He did perfect. So, yeah, I see Bart Perry's in the chat. Scary Barry, who went from trike to foot launching and really I haven't seen him done much foot launching here in a while. And he says, I feel you, Rip Man. Do it as long as you can, brother. So there you go. Good comment there from Scary Barry. But Dave, I mean, are you having the same old man issues that old man Ripa is right now with the legs starting to go, the back is starting to hurt? Or are you still young and vibrant?
Well, I don't know. I really, honestly, the first time I foot launched was when the Bren show. So what? About 10 weeks ago, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't flown foot launch in probably, I don't know, pretty close to a year. It's just been on trike. And I'm not sure if it's a confidence thing, going back to foot, or if it's getting to where my risk assessment's getting more and more as I get older. Because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to run. It doesn't hurt to pick the trike up. There's no problem, but I think it's a mixture of confidence and it's starting to get into that risk assessment. I'm getting older, my risk assessment's coming down.
Okay, interesting. Darren Locklear, I just mentioned him before. Carolina PPG, he made a $10 donation into the super chat. So I guess if you want to make a super chat donation, all those funds, 100%, no giving back to Google on this. Although they're going to take it anyways, but I'll go ahead and just buy more non-perishable items that I can take with me down to Kentucky. So if you want to do that, that's what it's going to go to tonight. There you go, guys. Thank you. Thank you,
Dave,
Darren.
I think I'm going to swing by your place tomorrow evening real quick, say hello. I think I've got about 4 or 5 cans of fresh soup.
Okay.
I think I'm going to throw on board for you.
Awesome. I'll take them. We'll take them down, buddy.
You bet.
You got to.
So, Dave, are we good with the old stuff?
No, we are not done ripping on you yet.
Okay.
We're gonna keep going with that if that's okay. But the trike is definitely. I mean, takes away 50% of your body, makes it a little bit easier on the legs, and you don't have to worry about that. I mean, there's benefits to both, for sure. But yeah, I there's something about just running into the sky that you gotta absolutely love. I had a thought, now I lost it. Dave, oh, we're moving too fast here. Flying in the cold, Dave. All right, so I want to say this. I'm going to start off by saying this. John Ripa experienced what cold is. Dave, you felt what air conditions like to us in Ohio. Go ahead, John. You were going to say?
I just want to let you guys know it's 78 degrees out here today, and it was 85 all day, and I flew in shorts and a t-shirt. We've had some really nice weather the last few days.
I hate you, man. I hate you. Well, look, 45 degrees feels like you're 80 degrees for me, okay? Dave is used to flying in nothing below 60 degrees. And he and I went out.
50 is my bottom.
50 is your bottom. Okay, and so we went out in 45. It wasn't too. Now, mind you, Dave actually, I was shocked. He didn't even fly with gloves on. Why, if you were so timid about the cold, why not wear gloves, Dave?
Well, again, it goes back to the foot launching. I'm not sure if it's an anxiety because I just haven't done it in a while. If there's something else underlying, so I didn't really feel like taking off with gloves. The tactile feel of the brakes, of the throttle, give myself all the advantages. One of my things that I remember my instructor saying, I had switched helmets from the training helmet to my own helmet. And the sound of the engine was different, and it really freaked me out when I took off. And I had mentioned it to him, and he said that you'll notice even as a pilot that has time, anytime you change anything, things are different. The sound, the vibration, the feel, anything else like that. So if you really got to nail a launch, or you don't want to risk anything, go the way that you normally go. So I went without gloves, and also knowing that I could shove my hands into my pockets, which I did for, I think it was a 45-minute flight. I think I was flying around for a good 35 minutes with my hands in my pockets. Weight shift only.
Yeah, you did. Interesting you say that about that with the gloves and everything, because that's something I would definitely want to warn everybody, that if you're going to fly with gloves, thick gloves, definitely kite with them first so you understand and feel the dexterity. One thing that happened to me back when I was still flying the Fresh Breeze, I actually landed in the snow and I couldn't hit the kill switch. And so what happened was the glider overshot me because I landed in the snow, it stopped moving. My glider line caught, I think this was the first time I tore a glider. My glider line caught in the prop. It zipped back. The line hit the top of my helmet, ripped the GoPro off my helmet. So, Kurt Pfister, if you're watching, you do need to wear a helmet for that reason alone, if nothing else. So, practice that. There was a video come out. I haven't watched it yet. I think it came out today. And it's from a person that I reached out to because I'd really like to have him on the show in the next couple months. But he's actually going to Costa. I can't say where he's going. Jason Guttridge. John Ripa.
We all know who he is.
Well, if you don't...
Can I say it?
You could say who... Most people don't know who Jason... Let's give the chat a second. Anybody in the chat watching, first person that gets it right, I'll send a sticker to him. Who's Jason Guttridge? If you know who his YouTube channel is, put it in the chat. But
first guy who comes up with it gets a sticker from Dave.
I know.
We know you know.
He has been a former guest on the show, but it's been about 2 months. 2 years, rather. Okay?
2 years.
Yeah.
And he's one of my favorite guests on the show. Anybody guessing in the chat? Jason Guttridge. If you know who he's also known as, who he's more popularly known on YouTube as. But he actually, and I'll give you a hint. He actually...
No hint.
I'm going to talk about the
Dave?
video. What? Stop it. Yes. Dave knows who it is. All right. Josh Perry says, never heard of him. Okay.
I bet you have.
I'm going to give it just another second or two. Okay. We're talking, Just Me says, talking about the heated gloves manufacturers. Yeah. That's a good one. All right.
Hey, while we're doing that and giving people time, let me brag on David real quick.
No, I hate that. Don't do that.
Well, no, you brought it up with flying in the cold and stuff like that. So, guys, if you've watched David's video, I think it was actually the last video that he put out, flying out of Bear Field. Did we get it? Oh, okay, go ahead. I'll finish mine here in a second.
Ripper just put the answer in the chat. I don't understand that. Did someone guess it? Ripper put the answer in the chat. All right, it's Fly Guy Alberta. Fly Guy Alberta.
It was over. You were dragging it out. Give me a break.
All right. Thanks. You ruined the whole show now. Fly Guy Alberta. So yeah. So anyways, he put out a video. We'll get back to you, Dave. Although I don't like to brag on, it's embarrassing.
No, this is important because it
All right.
actually,
Let me finish.
everybody out there could use this lesson.
All right, let me finish real quick. Fly Guy Alberto, he put out a great video flying with all this heated gloves and all the proper stuff. Take a look at that. That's a great video. We're going to try to get him on. And I'm going to tell you about the next show, too, after Dave goes ahead. Go ahead, Dave, because I have an idea. Someone that's in the chat, he doesn't even know he's going to be the next guest on, but it's going to kind of piggyback off of Flying Old, sort of. All right, go ahead, Dave.
All right, so basically had gone out of a new field. David wanted to go up and see the Christmas lights. He wanted to take off right at dusk, so we'd have about a half hour, 20 minutes before we really had to land. And what I was already dealing with is not flying foot, already nervous about that. But on top of that, I'm flying out of a new field. Going to end up flying at dusk, so there is no room for error. If I can't get back or anything else, I'm going to be landing in the dark or at least off field, et cetera, et cetera. And where I want to brag on David is that he was very gracious and actually, I expressed my concerns with it. New field, right at dusk, haven't flown foot in a while. Let me get off the ground early. We can always stay up there, but, let me get off the ground early. And this is actually a lesson for anybody that you fly with that ever has that, that worry. Don't get on them and say, oh, no, we'll go here, or, push them into something they don't want to do. Listen to your friend, or if you're new at a field, check it out, walk it, look at the area, get off the ground early, et cetera, et cetera. Never be in a hurry to fly, but never be into a hurry to get yourself into a situation that could turn out bad. Yeah. And David gave me that. David actually said, hey, you know what, let's go, and let me get up in the air early.
Yeah.
It goes to decision making.
That's right.
Yep.
Always safety first. By the way, I want to say thank you to 2 people who made super chat donations. Rick Spittler, lots of love from Kansas PPG. Rick made a $20 donation in the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hot Buttered Steve. Uh-oh. I don't think the whole thing's fitting on the screen here. But it says, my birthday is coming up, Dave. Oh, shoot. Hoping to get a humidifier and dehumidifier, stick them in a room, and let them duke it out. Very cute, Steve. Very cute. As always, some great comments. He made a $10? Yeah, $10 donation. So all those funds will be going to disaster relief in the great state of Kentucky. I will be personally taking them down and delivering them. And I'm sure I'm going to be taking a lot of pictures. As Dave said earlier, you're not even prepared of what you're about to see. And I did see some pictures. There was some drone footage. So I'm kind of already getting in the frame of mind of how horrible it could be. But it's going to be such a great deed, I feel like. And I feel like it's me and my whole family doing this because obviously they can't go with me, but they're staying behind and taking care of the homestead. So it's a great thing we're doing for other people in their time of need. So there you go.
Seeing the path of a tornado you're going to come back a different person, David.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we're all hoping
sobering.
for that. We're all hoping I come back into this room. Hey, so Tim Gaskins is in the chat, and Tim doesn't know this, but he's been a guest before on the show. Tim is the branch manager of the Bad Apples, and if you've ever been to the Bad Apples, he always leads the briefing, the pilot briefing. Love him. He's one of my very closest friends, and I think it's a great opportunity because I'm going to be seeing Tim and John when we go down to Florida, and maybe John, maybe that's Sunday night that we're there, and we'll announce the date as we get a little bit closer. It's about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, John, I think, something like that.
Coming quick.
I want to say, let's see, I think it's somewhere around whatever the so I think it's the 17th, if that falls on a Sunday, 17th or 16th. We'll do a show on that day. Tim Gasson is going to be with us, and I think it's a great opportunity. Dave just turned the screen off. It's a great opportunity to talk about what's the old saying? There's old pilots and there's bold pilots,
but there's no old bold pilots.
Yeah. So Tim, when I talk to Tim and we tell him about some experiences, it's usually followed up with been there, done that, been there, done that. Anything that you've seen on YouTube, Tim's pretty much been there, done that. And so he could talk about a lot of the experience, but most importantly, and we talk about this so often, we just want everybody to be safe. For goodness sakes, go home to your families every night. Don't let them worry. So there's that. John Ripa had an experience this past February at my house here in Ohio. where he was frozen. I think Dave. I think must have been 19 degrees out, and we were trying to hook up and take apart a hot
Hot tub.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, John, what's honestly? I mean, let's not be like, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. If you hadn't flown in a few months, what would be the coldest you would actually fly in? Let's
Oh
say
my
it's
gosh.
been months now, John. Put yourself.
I would say if I can't wear t-shirts and a shorts, I'm not flying.
Okay.
I'll just wait for another day.
That bad, huh?
No, really, like I would say 50, 55, 50. The most 50 is my bottom line. I mean, after that, there's just no need. Now, living in Florida, there's no need to fly any colder than that.
Okay. But what if you were traveling? What if you went up to the beautiful state of Michigan, okay? And you wanted to see how beautiful it looked up there with all those 10,000 lakes, and it's a snowy day, and it's just
I would imagine I could take a flight if I had a flight suit, a full face helmet, heated gloves, heated socks, packs in my pockets for warmth.
All right.
Hot packs.
I know JP Tulo, I see, is in the chat, all over the chat, texting me during the show. Thanks, JP. Appreciate that. And he's always flying in the cold. He's always flying in the cold like me. So there's oh, now he's leaving the chat. Now we mentioned him. Now he leaves. Got to run, guys. Ball and chain. There it is. All right. So there it is. But all right. So any other? I guess. Wow. We kind of moved through the show pretty fast here. All the content. I had tons of content. I said, boys, we could go for 2 hours, and I kind of flew through it all. But,
you really did. You didn't let me interrupt. You just kept rattling off.
I told you.
I have a list, he says. I have a list. Here's my list.
Yeah, Dave, you told us that we should interject, but we can't get a word in edgewise sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't let us say 2 words.
How do you feel about Leah Catullo?
I love Leah. What are you talking about?
It's one hot 86-year-old.
87. Oh. 87. What about, Dave, has there been any questions from the chat from the Magic 8 Ball, or is that a waste of $8 buying the Magic 8 Ball?
There was a question of if a Stegosaurus is the third best dinosaur. There was a question of
Scott, from Steve. Was that from?
There was a question of, is this good content?
Wow.
There was a question of if David should have a beard off.
Let me ask that question. Magic 8 Ball, is this good content? Let's see what it says.
I think you should throw that thing against the wall.
It says, not so much, tune in Thursday night. Wow.
Really says that?
It really said that. Not so much, tune in Thursday night. Wow. Okay.
Hey, Harley says he wouldn't call it a limit, but he's done 3 hours at 17 degrees.
Oh, my God.
OMG. Holy cow.
Dude, when we flew, it was 45, and I thought I was going to...
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost Dave.
Dave's gone. And then
Dave finished his RV, his motorhome.
And then there was two. John, why do you think we were talking about this? Where were you? You were
gonna die right now. It's 35 degrees sitting outside. I've got my heater on.
Oh, Dave's back. Hey, Dave.
Yeah, I'm having some signal issues.
Okay. John, you were at where were you? That you and I think the real Jeff Dean were at, and there was nothing but trikes besides the two of you. Where were you?
So we met all these guys at where this flying is going to be coming up in January 22nd. It's just north of Lake Okeechobee, maybe a couple miles on somebody's farm. And I'll tell you what, there were so many trikes. It was like a trike festival. I think there was 3 foot launches. Me, Jeff Dean, and JT Wardle. JT Wardle just moved here from Utah. He lives in St. Augustine now. So he got a chance to experience some Florida flying, and he loves it.
All right. So did you have a chance to ask these guys, hey, what drew you to trikes or anything like that?
Well, I mean, I think these guys were just basically throwing on their stuff, and, the trike was the better option for them because a little more stable. Than trying to run into the air.
A lot of people do them.
Yeah.
We mentioned Watt Shula and Rick Davies, and he's putting out a lot of trike flyers.
There's really nothing wrong with it other than, running into the air. There's just something about it. But there's nothing wrong with the trike.
There's nothing. You know what? We're flying.
Yeah, I mean, we were all flying, right?
We're flying. We're enjoying what we get to do, and however you get to do that, that's all that matters. There's no right or wrong. It's what's good for you.
Yep, exactly.
All right, Yankee Paramotor's in the chat. What do you want to say to Yankee Paramotor? I haven't talked to
I
him.
hope that he's healing well. I don't know if a lot of you don't know he had a double hernia operation, and he's been on the mend. He also had a new baby granddaughter,
Oh,
so he's got that. So I think she's helping him get well. Yeah.
that's awesome. And so a lot of people are recovering. I see Shandor is in the chat. He's recovering from his accident and praying for him as well, both him and Todd Falstad. So hope you guys are doing all right. Dave is
All
gonna.
right. Hey, Dave.
Yes, sir.
I just had to turn my chat off because it's just plain heck with my signal.
All right. All right. The heck with it, then.
Okay.
The heck
The
with
heck
it.
with it.
The heck with it.
Heck with it.
Dave, when are you rolling out of Ohio and heading back to Texas? Where is your next stops?
How's the farm doing, Dave?
Oh, that's a great question.
Well, the farm's up to too many chickens, too many turkeys, too many geese, too many ducks, too many pigs, too many cows. No, the farm's doing good. Sarah's taking care of it solo.
Wow.
I will be back to the farm. I leave actually this time next week. I pull out of Ohio. I go back to Texas. I'm there in Texas for about 3.5, almost 4 weeks. I've got to slaughter 40 to 50 chickens and 3 hogs
Oh my God.
while I'm home, and then I'm heading out to Arizona. So if you're going to be at the Air Paramo fly-in in Arizona, I will see you there.
We're gonna miss you. I had
I'm gonna miss you too.
interesting story with Dave Ruff. So we did a live feed. Was it last weekend? I think it was just last weekend, didn't we? After we went flying, and
Oh, that was fun.
so afterwards, so Dave was kind enough to buy my lunch on my birthday back in November. Really appreciate that. So it definitely wasn't. But the problem is Dave Ruff thinks there's only one restaurant in all of Cincinnati because 3 times we've eaten
There
together and it's only been the
is.
same place. And that's El
There
Picante.
is.
So
There's only one here.
so we decided we're gonna get El Picante. We ordered dinner for the whole family and Dave. And John, take a guess how much that bill came to. Now, mind you, we decided
No,
okay,
take a guess how much I cost them.
we're gonna get margaritas, which we did, which is why we did this live of I'm drunk with Dave Ruff at my house. And
Hey, Dave, did I gave your wife my margarita? Did it work out?
oh, that is a very personal question that I will not answer. That's horrible
Good.
that you'd have asked that.
Good.
Good job, dude.
We ended up getting 32 ounces, 3 margaritas, 32 ounces each. Dave and I drove to the restaurant, which is why he left his knife here in my truck. And take a guess what that bill came to.
325.
325. What kind of restaurants do they have in Florida? No, 130. Was it 136?
You asked me what again? I just thought you guys were drinking a lot. You
No.
sounded like you were all
we
drunk.
actually cut back. I was too cheap. I went and I got this champagne bottle from upstairs because we were going to do a toast, but it's a pop-off lid, and I don't have anything to pop off the lid with. I'm really bummed out.
Use a lighter.
I have your knife here. Can I use? I don't have a lighter. I can't use.
Use
your knife.
actually a spoon will work too.
I don't. Last time I seen a spoon was your whittled wood spoon. I don't know. All
Yeah,
right.
don't use my knife. That's a bad idea.
All right. I can't do the toast. You guys have anything you want to toast with? John,
I want to toast
John-
to
John's
good
getting
friends.
All right. Everybody's got to get a
to-
drink. Go get a drink, everybody. And Dave and John and I will make a toast. And I think we're pretty much near the end of the show. Did we want to give away this hook knife to anybody? John, Dave? John? Did we blow that?
I think we blew it. Dave lost the chat. Dave lost the
Yeah, I lost
chat.
the chat.
All right.
You have any? Can you remember anybody that did anything?
Yeah, I honestly, I mean, because I like name dropping. Is this good content? But I just don't remember who said it.
Oh, no. All right. It's about on the glass edge of the cork. There's no cork, Josh Perry. It's just like, that. There you go.
So Dave, if you take that bottle, all right. Shoot, this isn't gonna work
There's
very
nothing
well.
in here. If I do it on this, let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna try.
No,
Use your
you-
pocket knife, David.
Here, David, take that bottle and do this. No, dude.
I just ripped up
That's
the
a good
table.
way to break stuff.
Oh, thank you, Linda Anderson. That's so nice of you. Okay.
If you get yourself a spoon, take your bottle like
If I
this,
go up
hook
and get
that
a
spoon under there, you can pop it.
If I go up and get a spoon from upstairs, I might as well get a bottle opener. Why do you think I have a spoon in my son's room?
Dude, you have like 4 kids. Just
Okay.
yell for one.
All right. So, Resurgence PPG wants to start some drinking games. Why don't we just... all right. JP Tulo says, is this good content? JP Tulo... Oh, we have to ask the question first. And then JP Tulo is going to win this hook knife, which he can pick up for me this week and save me 25 cents or how much postage. All right. Question is this good content? So I'm really asking it this time. It's for real. I'm trying to see the magic. Okay, here it comes. And it says, reply hazy. Try again. This is the most questionable. All right, one more time. Last time, and then we are never doing this again, John. This was such a miss. I thought this would be such a good idea. It says...
Another flop.
It says very doubtful. It is not good content. All right, there's that. All right.
Back to Thursday.
Okay, so Todd wants to know what self-respecting person thinks drinking champagne out of a 12-ounce bottle. Okay, this was a gift from one of my customers. All right? There you go.
Hey,
But that's the man that made us some killer drinks in Florida.
Real quick, Bob Barry asked this question twice, and I know we already answered it, but he asked, do you guys feel if you launch in the cold weather, do you lose dexterity and feel? Safety issue, lack of skills, question mark. So we already kind of talked about that.
I will say this. So, because I have done it many, many times, I say no. I say once you've practiced it, you don't. So I can take off with my thick, heavy, heated gloves on. It's just a matter of getting used to it, okay? Making sure you've practiced hitting the kill switch so you know you're really pushing through with your thumb, the pad of your thumb, to go ahead and make sure that kill switch is going off. But I think once you're up there, you don't really... I mean, they talk about that you lose dexterity. I think Kyle O mentioned it in the video that you lose some dexterity, and maybe you do. But when I'm up there and I'm flying, just like Dave mentioned earlier, I usually stow my toggles and keep my hands down on my laps anyways, and I'm not... in the cold weather, I've made a decision. If it's cold out and I'm wearing boots, I'm not going to use my speed bar. And if it's cold, I'm probably not going to be doing too much acro anyways. So as far as losing dexterity, as far as your simple flying, your cross-country flying, I don't think it makes much of a difference. That's just me, though. The most difficult part, and this is really something that's a very big negative, is you can't hit your cell phone sometimes with some of these gloves or get your GoPro working the way you want it. And that's a big negative because sometimes you do have to take the glove off, do your little thing, and then go back to it. And we all need our cell phones while we're flying, right, Dave?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You bring up a good point because, to Rip and I, we probably would lose dexterity.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're practicing it. You fly in it all the time, so you're used to flying in that thick gear where we're not.
Yeah. So there you go. Let's see. Chris Fenimore has a question here. Chris says... Chris, I'm trying to bring it up. During the cold launches, do you prefer flying the trike or foot launch? Definitely foot launch. Here's why. You can ask this to anybody in my family that has done a tandem with me in the last year during the cold months. It sucks. Because when you're flying trike, at least for me, you're sitting and it's almost like it's trapping, it feels like it's trapping that cold air. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that doesn't make much sense because we're sitting as we're flying anyhow. For me, it just feels, I don't know. That's a good question. To me, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, I really feel like at this point, I've flown so much in the cold with the boots and with the flight suit on, which is pretty bulky, and the gloves and everything else. To me, it's just like flying as if I was flying in shorts, t-shirt, and no gloves in Florida with my tennis shoes on. It's a good question. That's a good question. As far as
I'd rather be flying in shorts, barefoot.
Well, that's true.
Short sleeve shirt.
But as far as flying with a trike, imagine this too. Now you got to set up your trike. You got to put your trike together, and it's freaking cold, and it takes longer to set it up and take it apart. I'd rather get that stuff right back on top of my pickup truck. I usually what I'll do is I'll keep my paramotor on my back, and I'll just climb up on my pickup truck and set it in the bed of the truck. And so
I just put my trike on the trailer.
Then there's that too. You can do that as well. So good stuff. All right. Hey, guys, we're about to wrap it up. I'll let each of you guys say a little something, holiday wishes, New Year's wish, wishing for the New Year's, wrapping up the old years. Let's start with you, Dave.
Guys, y'all be good to each other. I wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and all. I'm just the best, guys. Have a safe, Happy New Year, and it's all about decision making, guys. So make those good decisions up there, and I will see you in the air up there somewhere.
There you go, Johnny.
It was great to see everybody tonight in the chat. I miss all you guys, and I just want to say happy holidays to everybody, and fly safe.
Very good. Wow. Couple things. First of all, Pearl Jam said it right there. He read my mind. That's why you fly tandem, so the first person in front catches all the cold air. That is so true, and that's why my family hates flying in the cold with me, because they're just There was a time that I took Brendan up with me, and we were flying to see the Christmas lights, same place I took you, Dave, and we're flying back to the airfield that was further away, and I said to him on the comms, I said, Brendan, I think something's wrong with the motor. I said, everything, it just feels like it's shaking. He said, Dad, that's me. I'm freezing. It sure was him. And I could feel him between my knees. He was shaking. Sean Hartman, you're so generous. Sean Hartman made a $50 donation in the super
Wow,
chat. Says,
it's
Merry
awesome.
Christmas, everybody. Again, we'll take those proceeds. We'll put that right over, or everything, rather, not even just the proceeds. I'll fill in the rest of it. And we'll make sure that goes to some stuff, some good stuff down there in Kentucky. Thank you, buddy. Hot Butter Steve says, David Wolf, gonna send you some just for men for Christmas, you silver fox. Yeah, Anthony and I were talking about that. I said, dude, if I go back, I did a video once called Being Anthony Bella where I colored all my facial hair with just for men just so I could portray him. And I said, boy, if I do that again, man, people aren't gonna tell us apart. Um, Here's what I want to say. This has been a rough year, and I pray that next year is better for everybody. I pray that everybody uh, considers being a little bit safer, um, not just for your sake, but for your fellow pilots' sake, for your family and for their families, for our community, because it affects all of us. It affects what the FAA looks upon us and what they're going to regulate us on. I just want everybody to go home with all their fingers and toes, everything that they left the house with. Um, I'm very blessed. This has been a very blessed year for me. Last couple years, I'm very grateful for everything I have, the friends that I have, the friends that I've made through the paramotoring community, the future friends that I'll be making. I wish all of this for everybody else that's watching, that's in the paramotoring community. Um, I hope we have a great 2022. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at a fly-in. Bad Apples for sure. Dave Purdon. I'm going to try to make some others, but those two for sure. Um, just take care of your families. Have a great holiday season. Enjoy your families. Always put them before everything, even paramotoring. Put it before them. Put them before paramotoring. And just very blessed to have all of you watching the show in my life. And thank you for being understanding that it's too darn difficult to do this for me at least every week, and that if we can even do this once a month, I think that's pretty cool. So thank you guys. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. I don't know if you say Happy Kwanzaa, is that right? I don't know. Happy New Year, and we will see you in 2022. All right, guys, have a great night, and
Good night, everybody.
take care.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.